Hello, my name is Lauren, and today I'm going to be talking about how I got a company APV of 694.07. So first I'm going to discuss this dashboard page. So up here I have my revenue, my operating income, and my net income. My revenue in 2009 was at 245.75 and is currently at 373.47. My operating income was at 22.60 and is now at 43.42, as well as my net income, which was at 13.56 in 2009 and is now at 26.05. So as you can see, all three of those areas have increased from 2009 to what's currently going on, as well as my actual and my forecast. My forecast was lower than what actually happened for all three categories, which shows that I went above and beyond what I was supposed to do. So now we're going to come down here and talk about my revenue by division, my operating profit, and my total assets. So in revenue, my greatest one was production at 244.35, where my retail was at 264.50, and my licensing was at 47.88. Whenever I go over to operating profit, that obviously changes. My licensing was the highest in this at 24.33, with my production in second with a 10.82, and my retail within 8.28. Whenever we go to total assets, this changes again, with my production being the highest with 203.42, my retail in second with 107.64, and my licensing with 15.41. So all of these just show where the most money went to and how that equaled out. I will then talk about my graph. So as you can see, it increased and then decreased a little bit, but steadily went up after that. So I think that's off of 10 years. So even though it did decrease a little bit, it ended up going up and increasing throughout the rest of the time. So now I'm going to jump to my project updates just to show you all what I have been putting my money into. So in 2009, I invested into 4 different companies. In 2010, I invested into 4 different companies as well. 2011 was 5, 2012 was 7, and 2013 was 4. So whenever I was trying to figure out which company I was going to invest in, I invested in as many as I had the profit to because of the budget that I had. When determining which ones that I wanted, I closely paid attention to the NPV, which is net present value, the payback period, and the IRR, the internal rate of return. Those were the top 3 that I would look at when I would determine which project that I wanted to invest in. So now I'm going to head over to my income statement and my balance sheet. So first of all, my income statement, right here you see my net sales minus my cost of goods sold equals my gross profit. So in 2014, my gross profit was at 243.42 and gradually increased to 47.83. That jumped 244.41 in 10 years, which is amazing if you ask me. So that pretty much means that as the years go on, I'm not losing, I'm gaining, and I'm winning, I guess, in that sense. I'm then going to talk about my earning before taxes, which is pretty much exactly what it sounds like, your earnings before taxes. So you want that to obviously not decrease each year. You want it to increase each year because you want to have your earnings before your taxes come out. So in 2014, that was at 43.42, gradually increases again up to 2024, which is 122.68. That went up 79.26 in 10 years, which again, you want that to keep going up. You don't want that to decrease. Now I'm going to point out my net income, which in 2014 was at 26.05, 2015 at 31.02, going up, 2019 44.10, and then 2024 73.61. So this went up 47.56 in 10 years. Once again, that's good. You don't want your net income to be decreasing because that means you're not getting the income that you want after each year. So now I'm going to talk about my balance sheet, which is pretty much a screenshot of day to day. You can look at that anytime and it might be different, it might be the same. So first, here are my assets, which is pretty much anything that you own. So my net current assets were at 156 in 2014, once again increasing at 300.84. So you want that to increase. That means you're investing your money into things that's actually working out. So my total net assets at the end of it was 326.47 all the way to 490.99, which is good again. So my liabilities is pretty much anything that I owe, which is not bad. So that increased, as you can see, as well. Again, with my total current liabilities, that steadily increased. There's not too big of a jump, which means each year it is staying pretty steady. It's not increasing by a lot and then decreasing by a lot. It's steadily going up, which is what I believe people would like. So my total liabilities and shareholders' equity, that kind of fluctuates just a little bit, but that's okay because everything else will make up for it. Like in 2014, it's 326.47, but then in 2015, it's 323.34. But then again, in 2019, it's 378.45. That is okay. That didn't worry me. I still like what I see right here. So now I'll go to my cash flow statement. I don't want to talk about this too much just yet, but I'll just go ahead and point out down here in the bottom, my total cash flow with my ending cash balance. This increases, which is very good, which I will now go to project details to explain why that's very good. So right here, my cash flow statement, which is your net income plus your depreciation to get your total. You want this number to go up. You do not want this to stay the same or to even decrease because that means you are losing money. And if it's staying the same, that means you're not gaining any money, so you either need to change what you're doing or stop what you're doing. But for me, I was at 0.37, 0.38, 0.40, all the way up to 0.54, which means my projects are making me earn money, and that is very good. So now I'm going to go to my historical financials. This again just touches base on my income statement, my balance sheet, to just prove to me again my earnings per share, my earnings before interest and taxes is good. My net income is still good. So that is good. So now I'm going to go back to the project details tab, and here I'm just going to kind of show you how I can switch these up and to talk about my NPV, IRR, and my payback period and why I chose those. So this first one, Young Authors Book Series, right here I chose it because it had an NPV of 7.32. That might not have been the highest NPV, but that's okay because my internal rate of return was 97.68% with a discount of 7.85%, which again is good. And my payback period, which means the amount of years it takes you to pay that back, was only 2.17, which is not bad to do. So that's why I chose that one. I'll go to toddler doll accessory line now. So here my NPV was 6.82, which again might not have been the highest, but that's okay because if you look at it, my IRR is 24.80%. My payback period is 8.7. Yeah, that's a lot, but that's okay. If my numbers show that I can pay it off in 8 years and that my NPV is good and my IRR is good, then I don't care about the payback period. If I'm able to pay it back, then that's all that matters. Okay. Let's go to dollhouse with miniature dolls. So again, my NPV 12.76, IRR 28.99, my payback period 7.74. Again, this is in 2013. I think that it's okay. I'm able to do that. So here is one, for instance, that might not show what people like to see, but design your own doll. My NPV was 14.65, my IRR was 23.24%, but then my payback period was 9.86, and that's a little bit higher than what we would like to see, but to me, my NPV and my IRR make up for it. Once again, I think my company would be able to pay that off in 9.86 years. It's not the lowest payback period, but it's also not the highest that I've seen, so I don't think it's that big of a problem. So now I'm going to go back to my dashboard to just kind of recoup. So capital budgeting is very, very important for every company. It's important because it's a way that businesses determine their long-term profitability and if what they're putting their money towards is worth it. And I think that every company needs to do that because if you don't have this, you won't know if in 2013 you're making money or you're losing money, or if your cash flows are supposed to increase or decrease. And that's really all what it comes down to. You want to make sure that your numbers are showing positive results and that you're putting in positive work ethic. So yeah, that is my capital budgeting. This was the budgeting B example, and I got $694 as my APV. So thank you very much for listening.